What is up, everybody? My name is Zach. I host At the Corner, the Cleveland Guardians podcast on Network 216, and I'm here to hit you guys with today's daily YouTube short. The Major League Baseball trade deadline just passed, and I want to do a little kind of farm system overview for the Cleveland Guardians and give you guys some reasons to not abandon hope on the season and for some names that you're going to want to remember going forward. So let me get set up here, and we're going to do this thing. And here we go. All right. So as you guys can see here, I've got my minor league baseball pulled up. So we're going to do some player searches. So I want to give you guys some hope on the Cleveland Guardians as to why you shouldn't, sail the ship yet. So first reason right here why you should not abandon hope on this season is Bo Naylor. Bo Naylor is the Columbus Clippers primary catcher, if I can talk. He started the year at Double A Akron, and he was promoted to Columbus earlier this year. He is not on the team's 40-man roster. However, he will need to be added at some point in the offseason. So we're going to take a look at his stats here real quick. So between Akron, he had... let's see. Here we go. So at Akron this year in 52 games, he had 170 at-bats. He had a total of how many plate appearances? 220. So in 170 at-bats, he had 46 hits, 80 total bases, 12 doubles, 6 home runs, 2 triples, 21 RBIs, walked 45 times, struck out 46 times, stole 11 bases, was caught 3 times. That's good for batting average of 271, on base at 427. That's pretty impressive. If you can get on base at 42.7% of the time, that's pretty good. And he slugged 471 for an 898 OPS. That's pretty good. So Naylor is very much a non-traditional catcher profile. He's a left-handed hitter. He's got a good bat. He can hit the gaps for power. He can plunk the ball over the fence for home runs. He plays plus defense, and he's fast. He's pretty tall and skinny and can get around the bases pretty quick, and you like to see that. Since being promoted to AAA Columbus in 27 games and 95 at-bats, he's batting 295, almost 300. That's pretty dang good. Still on base at 424. That's incredible. And if you guys look here, he's walking a lot. He's got 18 walks to 26 strikeouts. Little bit worse on the walk to strikeout ratio since being promoted, but 4 stolen bases, none caught stealing. Slugging 558 for an OPS of 982. That's pretty dang good. So the reason you should be excited about Naylor is because I think a good majority of us are in resignation that he is the catcher of the future. The team has wanted to see his offense develop. He didn't have so great of a season last year. If you guys come down here and look at his 2021 stats in 87 games, he batted 188. But clearly, as you can tell through this year, he's figured out the offensive part. And the cool thing is, if you go to his fielding metrics, if you go to this year over 2 teams, he has no errors and no pass balls. So that's a pretty good indication of a defensive catcher. And he has also thrown out. I don't know how to read that. I'm trying to find out how many base runners he threw out. So that's pretty good. If you guys have seen any of his highlights, you know that Naylor's got a pretty sweet swing. He likes to pull the ball to right field, but he can take it the other way. And so that's good reason to be excited. So we'll move on to reason number 2. We're going to talk about Tyler Freeman. Tyler Freeman arguably had his Major League Baseball debut delayed, unfortunately. It probably would have been with the team last year in September when the expanded roster was made. However, Freeman suffered a season-ending injury in July. He had to have corrective surgery and go on the injured list. In his season this year so far at AAA Columbus, 72 games, batting 279, on base at 371, slugging 364 for a 735 OPS. He does walk a lot, 25 walks to 32 strikeouts, can steal bases. He's got 7 doubles, 6 home runs. Dude's an absolute hit machine. He's got a 70 grade hit tool. For those of you who don't know how Major League Baseball scouting scale works, it works on the 20-80 scale, 20 being the worst, 80 being the best. A 70 grade hit tool, it's pretty dang good. It means the kid can hit. He may not hit for power. His power is only graded at a 40 out of 80, but he gets on base, and pretty good reason to be excited about him because I think he's the eventual second baseman that lets Andres Jimenez move to shortstop, which obviously you want to maximize Andres Jimenez's defensive range, and you get that at shortstop. I think the club decides to move on from Ahmed Rosario in the offseason and trade him at the winter meetings, thus moving Heaney to short and giving guys like Tyler Freeman a chance. However, I do think we see Tyler Freeman this year. Freeman is currently, at the time of this video, riding a 15-game on-base streak and a 6-game hitting streak. He also gets hit by pitches a lot because, much like Jimenez, pitchers have figured out that to get him out, they have to come inside, and sometimes they come way inside, and they miss. Uh, Lots to be excited about with him. He was a competitive balance round B pick, overall 71 in 2017. And like I said, if not for his injury last year, I think we would have seen Tyler Freeman over Owen Miller. So a couple other things to pay attention to. We'll touch on George Valera. Most of you should know who George Valera is. He's one of the club's top prospects. He's number 46 on Major League Baseball Pipeline's top 100 prospects in the game. And there's pretty damn good reason to be excited about him. So in 85 games at AA Akron this year, he is batting .267, on base at .367, slugging .479 for an .846 OPS. He does strike out a lot. This is your very typical power profile. Strikes out a lot. He does walk a bit, about 0.5 walks to every strikeout, just under that. But the thing is, he smashes home runs. He's got 15 home runs on the year, 59 RBIs, 151 total bases. And the cool thing about Valera is he can pretty much play either outfield corner spot. He can play left or right. He's got a plus arm, and his defense is actually not as bad as a lot of people would like to lead you to believe. If you guys watch the MLB Futures game, he made a very nice running catch in left field. And being able to play either corner with a plus arm and decent defense is pretty good. Most teams are willing to forgo defense. However, it just, in the corner outfield, if you can get that plus, that's what you want. So good reason to be excited for him. You know, he's only 21. He had a bit of a cold start, but he's figured it out since. And I'll hit you guys with the last one. I was a little worried that the club might try to move Jhonkensy Noel. Well, we're going to have to search. I was a little worried they might try to move Jhonkensy Noel at the deadline. His profile is a bit more extreme than Valera's. He strikes out a lot. He really struggled to get his strikeout percentage under 30% this year. He started the season at High Lake County. He smashed a minor league baseball leading 19 home runs in 62 games. He was slugging .509, but his on-base percentage was really bad, so his OPS is only .295. And you can see that since being promoted to AA Akron in 25 games, he has 20 strikeouts. So compared to 62 games and 80 strikeouts, you can see in 25 games with 20 strikeouts and 8 walks, the strikeouts have come down. He's hit 9 home runs since going to Akron. He, in his debut series against Erie, absolutely slaughtered them, in which he hit 3 home runs in 3 games, or 5 home runs in 3 games. Absolutely incredible stuff. Go look up some videos on him. You can find him on Twitter. He just absolutely destroys baseballs. And the good news is he's probably a bit of your versatility option. So he's a native third baseman. Obviously, that path is blocked by Jose Ramirez. The club has moved him since being at AA Akron to get work in the corner outfield positions. And maybe eventually, if they decide to get him reps at first base, kind of like they did with Will Benson at Columbus, they could work that. But Noel's a big dude, and his footwork, I think, would need some work to get first base. But first base is a relatively easy defensive position. So just some things for you guys to look at. The future is still very bright in Cleveland. These are going to be some guys to keep your eyes on throughout the rest of the year as they get promoted and get called up to the bigs. I'm Zach. I host At the Corner on Network 216. Make sure you guys check us out. You can find us on Twitter at the Corner Pod, and I will see you guys later.